is so boring. Hello everyone, my name is Ashton and I'm just trying to get it together. So in today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit of something different. We're going to do an anti-haul, which is basically me just kind of, I don't want to say I'm like hating on or roasting brands, but I'm just sitting here talking about releases that I'm like, really? No, I'm not interested, but also why would anyone else be, kind of a thing. Before we get started, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe if you care about anything that I have to say. Make sure you check out my Instagram. It's at Ash Gets It Together. I'm on TikTok, Ash Gets It Together, and same thing for Like to Know It. So anyways, let's get started without further ado. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is this new Morphe foundation. Sorry, I'm looking at my computer, but it's just where I have my screenshots. It is the new Filter Effect Soft Focus Foundation from Morphe brushes. Well, their first foundation didn't go so well, so from what I hear. So I'm kind of like, you better do well with this one. That's all I'm gonna say. Right off the bat, the shade range ain't all that, honey, because I think that was one of their bragging points about their first shade range. They were like, oh, it's the best shade range ever, right? And this one is kind of, it's not great. I don't think it, 40 shades. You could do better, Morphe. Like, I don't know, I feel like they have the money to do better. You know, oil-free, skincare infused, natural finish, hyaluronic acid, pore blurring, natural, long wearing. What are they charging for this? I don't see a price. I'll put it down below if I find it. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could have done more with their shade range. That's my gripe here. I really do think they could have done a lot more with the shade range. That's my main gripe. Okay, next is a ColourPop release. Normally, I'm not like hating on ColourPop releases, but this one I was like, this ColourPop release to me, I'm like, it's so boring. Oh my God, I'm about to fall asleep talking about it. It's the Off Melrose release. The palette, some of the, is it Luxe glosses, and the blushes are nice, but the palette, my gosh, is so boring. And it's like they kind of, I feel like they kind of want to pop that gold shade in there to make it more appealing, but it's like y'all have done this similar color story, I feel, before. I think it's boring. So let's take a look at some of the info. The palette's $18, that's pretty standard. The blushes are $10, glosses are $8. So I mean, the prices are standard, but I think it's just a boring release. I think it's plain. I think they have things that work really well that people already have. If you already have these colors, I mean, I personally wouldn't go buying this. Another brand that I feel very strongly about is BH Cosmetics. I love BH Cosmetics. I have said this many times on my channel. You're probably tired of hearing about it, but BH Cosmetics, the full face of BH Cosmetics was actually what I was wearing on my wedding day, and my makeup was snatched, honey. However, this palette release is the Lunar New Year palette. Like, I feel like it's been done so many times. I do think that little bright red on the far left is a little different. I think it adds like a little spice to it, but I feel like this has been done before, and I think it's boring, and I expect more out of BH because they came up with those like mimosa, some kind of something, like it's like a brunch idea. It was just like a gorgeous bluish palette that I want to get, and I keep meaning to buy, but I'm like, I don't know. I think they can do better than this. I don't know. This color story seems like it's been done before and overdone, and that's my story there. The palette's $21, our eyeliner's $8. I have no problem with their eyeliner, their lashes, their glitter. It's just the palette to me. I think it's been done, and they are I find that they're very creative, and I think that this is just kind of beneath them, and that's my opinion. Next is this Dominique Cosmetics palette. It's the Transition palette. It's an everyday go-to eye and face palette. You know, I'm not really here to really roast this one because I like Dominique Cosmetics. I like Kristen Dominique. I think she's onto something here. I really do. However, I just think she's late to the game because I understand that it's meant to be an eye palette, a face palette. However, she's late to the game. If you're trying to use eyeshadows as your face shadows coming from an face shadows, oh my gosh, as like pigments for your face, like coming from an everyday girl, like you're kind of late to the game here because people have been doing this forever. Like, you don't need a specific palette to do that. You can just reach through your collection and figure that out. I think this is just an excuse to spend money. Like, I don't know. I just find that to be a little, just make like a face palette, you know? I don't know how into this people are gonna be. I'm not completely opposed to it, but I'm also like, as an everyday person, yeah, no, I'm just gonna buy designated palettes, but that's just me. Another ColourPop release, and y'all know I love ColourPop. Y'all know how I feel about ColourPop. I live for ColourPop. This Cloud Spun palette, I'm not gonna spend much time on it because I just have a question to pose to everyone. I think this palette's beautiful. I really do. It's all pink. It's gorgeous. These little highlights, these blushes, even the little So Juicy things are cute, even though I don't really like those lip glosses. But don't they have palettes that look like that? Like really, really close to that? I don't know, maybe I'm losing my mind. But I feel like they're just really trying here to make something look a little different and make a lot of money off of it. You know what I mean? That's just my thought. I'm not spending much time on that whatsoever. Here's one that I was just like, girl, bye. Okay, so there's this, what I can obviously only assume is a Valentine's Day palette from NYX. I feel like they have allegedly, like, taken this design from someone else. I feel like I've seen like pressed hearts into different palettes before. Maybe this is just me. But do I think that this color scheme is really inspired? No, I don't at all whatsoever. Do I think it's usable for the average person? Yeah. If you're looking for a Valentine's Day look, yeah, this is pretty usable. However, like, I think that people are starting to use these like raised designs like this, especially now after Spoil Lips Cosmetics, because I've been like following them for a little bit, and I start to see that like they have that raised lip like impression on their eyeshadows, and I'm starting to see more people pop up after they see that. And I don't know, I just kind of feel like this is a rip-off of that. I don't know, that's just my idea. But there on the bottom left, that purple shade, oh my God, that is to die for. I love that. Anyway, basically everything else about that seems pretty legit. Oh, that Ultimate palette, snooze fest, goodbye. No, thank you. Not interested. All right, let's talk a bit about this Nikita Dragon stuff. Like, girl, no. I feel like this Nikita Dragon palette, it's like, what can you do with this palette? Like, you can only do a certain amount of things. Like, the everyday girl is not going to spend $30 for, that's $6 a shade. And I mean, like, that's actually fairly standard with some of the more prestige beauty brands. But I mean, you can't really do much with those shades. And I feel like the second from the left and the second from the right, they look so similar, but that also could just be the picture. They could be completely different. I don't know. There could have been more variety here, I think. But there's not really a whole lot. Anyway, that's my gripe there. I was like, it's not very versatile. Anyway. Okay, so next we have, it's a collaboration with Hershey Kisses and Etude House. These three palettes look the same. That dark okay, the dark chocolate palette does not look dark chocolate. Like, that's not dark chocolate at all. Like, and what's an almond chocolate? You couldn't have done like white chocolate? That's not a dark chocolate palette. Like the milk chocolate I think is spot on, and I guess for an almond chocolate, but those two still even look the same. But the dark chocolate, honey, okay, honestly, if I'm looking for milk chocolate, probably that bottom one in Special Dark is gonna be the most like close to it. Well, besides the bottom one in almond chocolate. Yeah, the bottom one in dark chocolate and almond chocolate, it looks like milk chocolate. Like, I don't know, it irked me. They all look the same. Like, I love chocolate. And so this just irked me in a major way. They look too similar. Change it up. Maybe it's just, you know, the pictures don't do it justice maybe, but just change it up. Come on. So we have a Tarte palette. That is so boring. It's so boring. Oh my gosh. Like, it's very boring. If you want to be like a nude palette, maybe try a little bit like more colors. Like that, those left two columns are just like that third row is kind of interesting, but like those, like the first, second, and fourth rows of the first two columns, it's like, but come on, Tarte. I think you can certainly do better than that. It's $45. I mean, 5, 10, 15, 20. That's a pretty decent deal. I mean, maybe they're not trying to do an inclusive nude palette and I'm just like digging too far into it. But I mean, it's just not something that I would buy personally. Just kidding. That was the last thing because I don't know why this screenshot is in there. It's a beautiful palette by Nomad Cosmetics. I mean, I think it's beautiful. It's a lot of blues, but it also has some other pops without being like, oh, just a pop of blue, or excuse me, a pop of green, one shade, you know. I think it's really nice. I don't know why it's in here. It shouldn't be in here. So anyway, that was the last one the Tarte palette was. Anyway, so that's my anti-haul. If I can improve these anti-hauls, let me know. This is my first one. I didn't mean to just like destroy anybody, but those are just my opinions. And there's some brands in here clearly that I love, like ColourPop. Come on, I love ColourPop. But there are some things that I'm just like, come on, ColourPop, look at that. I scratched right there. Anyway. But anyways, like, just let me know if there's anything I can improve on. Because this is the first one I've done, clearly. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe if you care about anything I have to say. Check out all of my social media accounts. They are below. Check out also, for sure, my Like to Know It. You can shop my looks and everything else that I am interested in. If you are interested, I'm trying to gain some followers over there. It's free to create an account. You can shop over there. Anyways, so that's all for today's video. See y'all next time.